What's up, everybody? Keith, regular Keith, Carolina Keith, Professor Keith. I think my hat's crooked. Not anymore. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. Glad to see you back again. Tuesday, May 10th. My goodness, does time ever fly right on by? Let's get right into it without wasting a bunch of time. Welcome to Charts After Dark. If you don't mind, please do me a solid. Go hit the like button. It costs absolutely nothing. While you're there, you can hit the notification bell so you make sure you don't miss anything that we do. Last but not least, subscribe. Google tells me that most of you guys who watch don't subscribe. Why not? It's free, it costs nothing, and it helps the algorithm out a ton. Hook a brother up. That's what I'm saying. All right, cool. So let's get right into the thumbnail. So the thumbnail stated, hey, be careful. What am I talking about? I said on X, posted it for everyone. I said, hey, man, what does this even mean? Be careful. What is a downtrend? I don't understand. Well, let's break it down bit by bit here and kind of try to explain. Why do I think this is a bit of a dangerous look? Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, we have a downtrend here. And what I mean a downtrend, I mean lower highs. There's our previous high, and then our next high, and then our next high, and then our next high. And then we did make a new high here that was higher than those, but it's not doing enough just yet and hasn't continued to make a new high. As you can see, it's a little bit of a lower high. Not good, just like all these back here. Lower highs and lower lows. Here's a low and a lower low and a lower low and a lower low. But then they stopped. All those lower lows stopped. You started getting higher lows and even lows and higher lows and even lows. And that helped to create a little miniature uptrend. Problem, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. We haven't created that new high and maintained it just yet. And since we haven't done that, we're still stuck in a perpetual downtrend. Started here back in the middle of January. You had a clean touch of the trend line, a clean touch of the trend line, and again, a clean touch of the trend line that just happened before closing, before we started our live stream. If you look at other stuff here, I'll pull up some moving averages for us. You see the 50 moving average, the 50-day moving average, that's the price for 50 days divided by 50. Whatever the price was at closing, divided by 50 after 50 days. This is what we get, this yellow line. It's every single day, slowly but surely, has created the line that you see. As you see, that yellow line is pretty darn similarly near that downtrend. We need to see Bitcoin break that 50 moving average to prove it. Not only will that be breaking the trend line, but it'll also be changing everything that we're looking at here for a good positive reason. That would be the third out of 3 positive reactions on the Reaper strategy. What is the Reaper strategy? Well, the Reaper strategy is something I developed messing around with percentages of wins and losses, trying to make an easy and simple and effective system that was a little bit more complex than nothing. You know what I mean? So it's an 8 EMA, 21 EMA system. 2 closes over the 8, which you just got yesterday. Hey, that's nice. 821 EMA cross. It's just about to happen. If we manage to hang on to some green for one more day, we're going to get an 821 EMA cross, and you're going to see the little flag pop up that looks like that right there, 821 EMA buy. That little flag right there shows you that you have an 821 cross. We'll get that if we get one more day of green here. That'll be 2 buys. And the third buy would be over the 50 moving average. Just haven't gotten it yet. And like I said, showed you that flag. That's what a 50 EMA buy looks like when 50 EMA buy looks like when it pops up. These are adjustable. You can change them to different styles if you like. I use the flag for the cross over, and then I use the triangle for 2 over the 8 EMA, and then I use the little like label for 2 over the 50, which is what this is right here, the 50 moving average up. You can adjust those and change them in the strategy. Where do you get the strategy? It's free as part of our Discord. wap.com/team786. Go down to the custom indicator script section in the Discord. It's downloadable right there in the pinned messages. We do this all the time, and since we created these easy systems, we want these people to be able to use them, learn them, ask questions. You can load it up right here in your trading view and use it, which is what you're seeing me do right now. What is the Reaper line? Well, the Reaper line is where you would set your stop losses. And the way it works is after you get your 3 buys in, you break your buy down into thirds. 1, 1, 1, right? That's 3 different thirds. Where would you set your stop loss? You set your stop loss underneath the Reaper line, which is the previous week's close. All right. If you break this line, you're likely going lower. So once you get below this line and you get a close or 2, your choice, that's probably time to think about walking away. You're probably going to get lower lows and lower highs in here. It's happened plenty of times before, and that's why the Reaper line is what it is. All right. Then every single day that you win, be that 1% or 900%, last part of the strategy, you move your stop loss up as you go. So I'll explain it to you. You set your stop loss right here and you say, that's my stop loss. I'm going to label it text stop loss. And I'm going to do it in red. You see it right there. It says stop loss. So bam, good. Then we get the next day we get a 3% candle and the price comes way up here. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. So then I'm going to measure 3%. 1, 2, 3% will be right there at the Reaper line. So I'll slide that stop loss up. Perfect. And I'll continue to do that every day that we have a green day. If you have a red day, you don't touch the stop loss. You leave it there. You leave it there. That's what it's for. It's protecting your gains and limiting your risk. That's the point of a stop loss. If you don't think stop losses are important, folks, we can't help you. So there you go. There's a short little quick synopsis on the 821 EMA plus 50 moving average Reaper strategy for you in the Discord. Check it out. All right. So other stuff. Again, baby steps here, but we're trying. We're still dead underneath the cloud. It hasn't broken through yet. Still stuck. Dangerous, yeah? This thing can just sit here and drag the bottom of this cloud and really make you feel bad about the failure. It's happened before. Pivot points. You're still over the pivot. That's awesome. Hadn't failed that yet. You started to and it bounced back. Great. Just try and hold on to it. Keep it up. MACD and RSI. RSI, excuse me. Hold on. MACD and RSI. So MACD continues to slowly creep north. You lost a little bit of volume over 4 days through the weekend. That's all right. Not the end of the world. But you still have a fairly good separation between your two lines, your divergence. You want to see that stay steady and smooth, not get too wide. When you get too big of a divergence, they tend to close back up. Just like you got here. Too big of a divergence, and they started to close back up. Right? You want to keep that nice and smooth. It's working its way toward the midline, has not crossed through the bullish territory just yet. And your RSI is going to be the last thing we got here. You're still trending north. That's a good thing. Still making a nice gaining slow momentum RSI, but I'm warning you, this thing can fail quick. And you're still in the nominal trading zone around 50. That's good. Hold steady at 50, then we can talk about attacking 70. But that's still a bit off the edge. We can't go being haywire on stuff. And last thing here, Bollinger Bands. Your Bollinger Bands started to squeeze pretty tight. You got some volatility. It jumped back in the bands and started to consolidate yet again, which just means go sideways. Fancy word for go sideways. You're probably going to see these bands pinch in a little bit more here if we get more consolidation. If we don't and we get above this trend line, you're going to start to see this red band turn up and this green band turn down, which will be a good thing. That'll be a good bullish sign. And so long as the price stays above the trend, stays above the 821 EMA and near or above the top of those Bollinger Bands, you are good to go. So dangerous spot here. We fail this and we make a new low and this thing rolls over and gets aggressive. We're heading down to the pits if that happens, back down to the 60,000 area, more pain. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. That just means keep an eye out for it, because if it does, it'll probably be a quick hitter, all right? And it is what it is, but it's worth talking about. That's why the thumbnail was what it was. I don't do clickbait. Y'all know that. I always keep it real with you. That's what I got. Let's move on to the next. All right, what's up? Charles can't lie. Way past my bedtime. Popped in to say hey and drop a like. I'll check the replay. Thank you, brother. Good for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, as we say in the South. Appreciate it. Shout out to people watching over on X. Appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to people over on the YouTube. I'm not big on the YouTube, but we still use it. I know a bunch of you guys like it. Also got the Hornets game going on right now, so we're going to do a 30-minute stream. I got to get to bed, too. I can't stay up super late, brother. I am beat. Today whooped my butt. I went toe-to-toe with that chiller, dude. Toe-to-toe. And I'm tired. So let's jump into XRP. After this, we'll hit oil. Go look at the SPY and a couple other things. So far, XRP up into the wait a minute zone here. Wait a minute zone is the area between the 8 and the 21 EMA. As you see, we're still stuck in it. You looked promising at about 1 o'clock this afternoon when I looked through some charts real quick. And then you rolled back over and pushed right back down underneath that 21 EMA. Not good enough. It's trying. You could argue that it's a broken trend, but if I flip this to linear mode, not as good. As you see, push down here a little bit. You might have been pinned on the wrong side of the trend line here. I'm not saying it is or isn't. Just it's subjective. Be careful with it. Your RSI and MACD are still both trending up. That's good. Pivot points, you fell under it. Didn't want to see that happen. That sucks. As you can see right there, you're back underneath that orange line with the P on it. That's the pivot point. Above it's bullish. Below it is bearish. We are below it. Bollinger Bands continue to pinch, so we've still got volatility incoming here. The more these pinch, the more volatile the move we shall get, and they are pinching. You can see it just like I can see it. Ichimoku cloud. So one could argue that you jumped up there and tagged the bottom of the cloud. That's not good enough. Got this void right here too. We could see that thing work. The void is what it is. And the cloud's working on turning green, but it's still nowhere near close enough. And since it's nowhere near close enough, we cannot rely on it. Unfortunately, XRP is more of a nothing burger. I have hope here. I think it's possible that we could be forming a bit of a base. Somebody just hit a 3. Conk and nipple right off the bat. Con man. We could be forming a bit of a base here, but prove it. Break out of the zone. You're still stuck in the zone here. It's in that range. I need you to break out of that range. If you break out of the range, you change stuff. We haven't broken out yet. Till then, wait and see. All right, so right now, the score's 3-0. Conk and nipple splashed a 3 on his very first shot. Blazers are 0 for 2 so far. Hornets just missed a shot. They do have 2 guys starters back that were down, and one of them just scored. He can play. I got a couple of young guys over there. One of them's all-star. Klingon not, but the other guy, the European guy, he's an all-star. He can hoop. He's back tonight. Hornets have lost 2 straight. After winning 19 out of 21, they've lost 3 out of 4. But that being said, Conk and nipple with another 3. Con man. That being said, they had a hell of a run going, and they didn't get whipped. They just got beat. So it is what it is. Part of the game. And that European guy smashes a 3 right back in the eyes. Conk and nipple's got the ball again. Bypasses the 3-foot foul. Perfect. Anyway, so a little commentary for you. Love my Hornets. You guys know that. There's Hornets jerseys hanging up behind me. Hornets, Tar Heels, Panthers, and the Braves. Wear a Braves hat, by the way. We got spring training going on, World Baseball Classic going on. Season's about to start. I love my teams, man. It's emotional. All right, so here's WTI crude. So I wanted to talk about oil for a couple of reasons. All the big news and big moves and stuff like that means absolutely nothing to me. I've tried explaining that. Brandon Miller, 3-pointer. I've tried explaining that before. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But I care about the charts. I care about the direction that we're going in, not the moment. I want to know all of it. I want to know the before and the after. Well, the cool thing here is we're able to kind of look at this and go, hey, man, we got Sniper's Alley up here at 105 to 115. It's unlikely we just blow through all this at one time. We also have the golden pocket between 91 and 100. It's unlikely we blow through all this. Well, we tried to blow through all of it, and what happened? Bang, Sniper's Alley comes again, immediately shuts you down, stops you, and rolls you back. Says, whoa, 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 we're not doing that. Not today. Sniper's Alley snipes again. Now, the cool thing here is if I put some moving averages and stuff up, you'll see she's still over the 8 EMA, so it is 100% not out of the woods. Look at that. Still over the 8. Still hasn't given up. It's still right in range. You've got an 821 EMA smooth up. You had your golden cross back here. You've got the 100 trying to cross to the 200. You got nothing but bullish stuff aside from the really, really ugly red candle that it threw. That's the only thing that you have that is a bit of a negative. And for what it's worth, Brandon, Miles Bridges, Mr. 3. For what it's worth, that's the only thing And now you formed a hammer candle yesterday. It was solid red. Oil was all the way down to $75 a barrel earlier yesterday. Wild. I've said this before. 68 to 72 is the perfect amount. Between 68 and 72 is great for a couple reasons. Number one, you can afford it. It's more affordable. We've learned through trial and error that when gas gets over $4 a gallon, average national, that's when people stop buying it. So they don't want that to happen because our country and our world runs on petroleum-based products. You're holding one in your hand right now, or you're using one to work with, or you're walking on them, or you're wearing them. So let's not act like it's not true. You know what I mean? You can't just have it crash. You can't just have it skyrocket either, because if it skyrockets, no one can afford it. No one can afford it if it crashes. Why? Because the companies who pump it will stop pumping it if they don't make any money on it. 68 to 72 is enough money to make good profit to continue looking for more, but not so much that you can't afford to buy it. All right? There's a balance. We almost hit that balance earlier today. I do think we're finding the balance now. We were well below that. We were down in the low 50s for quite a while. We have trended back up into the 100 level. Now we're sitting around $82, floating around. I think we're probably going to close in here between 83 to 80. There is still room for this thing to move more, but I want to warn you, look at the high time frame. Look at the wick on the monthly here. Yikes, that is an enormous amount of sell pressure on the top of that candle. And yes, it still has 20 days to go. So there's time and a half for this thing to catch up and keep going. But it is worth noting that that wick is a ton of sell pressure. In fact, I'm more of the thought process that this thing continues this, rolls over, no more than the golden pocket, rolls over and comes back and settles sort of in this area around 75-ish, because that range has held for quite a while through there, between 66 and 80. It's held that range for a pretty darn long time. I wouldn't expect that just magically changes. The Blazers have not missed but two shots the game so far. They've made the last 7 in a row. How about that? Who saw that shit coming? 7 in a row. Whatever. Can't miss. And they're playing good defense. It's not like they're getting bad shots. Good shots. They're getting the hard shots and still just making everything. 50 moving average, I'm not sure that immediately rejects. I think we might get that next month. So I don't think this is clearly out of the water. I think we've got a little bit more time for this thing to settle in and figure out what it wants to do. Baby steps. For now, rocky road ahead. I do think it's going to clear up. What's up, crew chief? Good to see you, brother. Let me check over here, make sure I'm not missing anything. And we're not. Shout out to y'all guys over on Rumble. Appreciate y'all being over there, man. With something to drink. Now let's go hit the SPY. What does that mean? That's the S&P 500. It's just an index of the S&P 500 that happens to run a lot of different hours. You can do the SPX, which is the SPX 500. Bam. And it's sort of the same, but you have more lots or less lots. It's kind of up to you on what you want to do with it. I use just a regular old SPY, the New York Stock Exchange one. That's pretty fair, good data. So yesterday we had a monster candle pop back up after all that big ugly red over the Thursday, Friday session into Monday. Thing popped up and ran right back into the 100 moving average and the 821 EMA. Problem, that's as far as it went. Yesterday, which we just closed, really, really unfortunate spinning top right here, or a tweezer candle, whichever one you want to call it. Neither one's a good thing. It's a potential reversal back down. We've seen this before. We got one right here that just happened a couple days ago. Had one back here. Had one back here. It's done this before, right? Had one back here. And it sometimes signals back down. We don't have anything super positive as far as a buy signal goes. We never hit the 200 moving average. And we're not over the 821 EMA or the 50 moving average, which is what our Reaper strategy would be. So for now, it's a bit of a holding pattern. And if we flip it over to the weekly, you got a similar look. You pushed up into the 821 EMA on the weekly after a couple pretty gnarly weeks. Can you get back over this 821 EMA to close the week? If you can, good. If not, well, you're angling more for sideways and down, in my opinion. The NASDAQ. So this bitch didn't want to hear about it. After the big failure, look at this weekly candle. Oh, my goodness. And yes, you still got several days to go this week. Obviously, 3 more days. But look at that move. Look at that big monster move off of the low, bottom of the range. Bang, right back over the 821 EMA weekly. That's awesome. So you actually closed a green candle in here, and you're fighting with the wait a minute zone instead of failing like you've seen the SPY do. That kind of tells me that the 100 is better than the 500, and a lot of the big dogs are getting a lot of the money, and that's cool. Look at the candle that it threw on Monday. My goodness, what a candle. Hit the 200 moving average, shoo, straight up off of it. Now we're pointing back toward the 50 and 100 moving averages. Again, I think we're going to get pinched here, but I love the fight back. It's a really, really nice look. Break the range and prove it. If you can get over the 50, 100 moving average right here, you can head back to the top of the range. Dow Jones. Big rejection after a really, really awesome hammer candle that you threw on Monday. You didn't quite hit the 200 moving average. You tried, didn't quite get there. Quite the move to get where it got to. I didn't expect that, but it did it. But the problem is now you've rejected that 100 and EMA. That's not a great look. You need to see that change on the immediate. You've got the 50 moving average slowly rolling over sideways. It's just not quite good enough, right? I'm appreciating the hammer candle. That's a good bullish sign, but that's all we got going for us so far. We did not go oversold either. See? So we need a little more from you here. The Russell. Oh, that's the Dow. Here's the Russell. So the Russell 2000 is the top 2,000 assets. I don't think I need to spell it for you. It's the top 2,000. Blew through the 100 moving average. Snap your fingers. Monday pushes this right back up. Of course, everyone was planning and expecting all this horribly bad news. Didn't happen. Daily rejected the EMA so far. From yesterday, that's a pretty gnarly candle. I don't like that sell pressure on the top. Is what it is. You got to deal with it. More continuation to me. We might wick chase, but I believe that's going to slowly work its way over like that. We'll see. Apple had another back test day. This isn't the greatest look here. And the reason I say that is all you've done is run up and slap the bottom of the EMA and the other moving averages, plus this wedge that you created. You've run up, smacked the bottom of it, and you've not done much else. That's not so great. 200 moving average is still way down there. Hitting this right here and rolling over is a more likely scenario than not until we see something change. It needs to get back over the 50 moving average and fight that 100 moving average back into the wedge and prove it. Till then, I am of fact, or I'm of thought that it's going to go sideways and down, consolidation, more fact than fiction. Tesla looked like it was going to fail the 200 moving average. Bang, hammer candle. Problem today, just like Bitcoin, where I warned you on Bitcoin that this could be bearish. It's going to be the exact same thought process for Tesla. Look at that. Touch, 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 almost touch, and touch. That's a lot of hits on that trend line, fellas. And it hasn't stopped yet. Same time, not what you want to see. All those touches just mean consolidation and continuation. That's the case. We can pull up some indicators and have a look. Bollinger Bands are narrow but going sideways. No help. Ichimoku Cloud, you're 4 out of 4 now. Another 3 by the Blazers. My God. Pivot points, you're still under the pivot. That ain't going to get it. And your moving averages, again, 821 EMA rejection, but you did catch the 200. So it's a mixed bag. And then you look at your RSI. It's sideways. You look at your MACD. Down big. There's the midline. Look how far down we are from the midline. No buy volume to speak of yet. And you got an 821 playing. I'm not 821. Your MACD lines are trying to cross, but they haven't done so yet. So you're playing this game of back and forth here with Tesla. Till I get a breakout and prove it, it's probably more risk than reward. You know what I mean? All right, a couple more that I've been following. Microsoft. I posted about Microsoft over on X. And I said, hey, man, generationally oversold. What do I mean by generationally oversold? It's the lowest the RSI had been on Microsoft since the early 2000s. Isn't that crazy to say? It is, though. But it's since then started fighting its way back and it's gotten over the 821 EMA. And you did have a positive 821 EMA cross, had a couple red days in here, and you don't necessarily have a ton of volume that you would like to see. You are still under trend, so it's a little bit of a be careful situation, but you cannot deny the fact that it's trying to improve and it's working on it. I like to see some more volume, and I need to see a trend break really to like put us over the top. I haven't done that yet. Maybe it will soon, but for now, I'm a little bit of a holding pattern. I like the fact that it came off the bottom. Do a little more. Do a little more. A couple more here, and then we'll be done. Paramount. Oh my goodness. So all I heard from the Paramount crowd and the Netflix crowd was, whoever gets this deal done, their stock is going to skyrocket. And
Wrong.
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 Wrong. It did for 2 days. And then what? Right back down from whence you came. Right back down to the lows that it was playing around with before their deal was announced. Isn't that ruthless? Exactly. That means there's more sellers than there are buyers of this, rejected the moving averages, and is absolutely getting its ass handed to it. So far, not great. Now, in comparison of that, how about Netflix? Their competitors. Well, what do you got here? You got a price that's not failed yet. Big move up over the 100 moving average, consolidating but still hanging on over the 8 EMA, over the 21 EMA, over the 50 moving average. Impressive to say the least. Interesting that they didn't get the deal and their price went up. They didn't spend a lot of money either. But for what it's worth, I wanted to point that out to you. Chase the news if you want. The one who lost actually won. Crazy, right? Yeah. Welcome to the world of charts. All right. So, and the last couple things here for Netflix. Overbought. So be careful, right? You went from triple oversold to overbought in a dadgum hurry. Pretty good. Careful. Remember, when it's overbought, you should look to think about selling. When it's oversold, you should look to think about buying. You did have a lot of divergence on your MACD here between the blue and the orange. Falling off on buy volume, but still not bad. You are starting to see these lines converge back together. It's going to happen when they get that far apart. Hope here is it doesn't do too much at once, because if it does, well, then it's going to slow way down. It does have gaps all the way back down to its low. Is it going to follow the same course as what Paramount did? I'm to think no, but it's possible. Last one, Circle. Circle owns USDC and a bunch of other crypto-based stuff. It's a stock, not a crypto. But look, hey man, could this be the precursor to what's happening? Possibly. Usually not, but possibly. She jumped the 821 EMA back here. We had 2 over the 8 back in February 17th. And since then, since you got 2 over the 8 EMA, you have been 90% up. So you made 100% gains on this. That's pretty darn good. 90% gains, 100% gains, basically the same thing. You're over every moving average. Well, you don't have a 200 moving average, so you're over that too. Weekly 821. You don't have a cross yet, but you are working on it. Very impressive. It's an excellent look for Circle. What a move. Didn't expect to see this thing go like this. It's really big outlier. You're a 4 out of 4 on the Ichimoku cloud. That's crazy. You're underneath the Bollinger Bands, but they are very wide right now. MACD. Pretty good divergence. Look at that. That's a lot. It's probably going to start slowing down here at some point. And look at your RSI. Hella overbought. Be careful here. Again, I'll say it. When something's overbought, you should probably think about selling something. When something's oversold, you should probably think about buying something. Not financial advice. Do your own thing. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude on the internet who stares at charts and data too much. Appreciate you guys watching, though. I thank you all for being here. Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, we're here doing our charts. We do these because we want people to learn. We want people to grow. We want people to take the power into their own hands and stop trusting other people. Do it for yourself. Do it for the right reason. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. See you guys on Thursday. Same chart time, same chart channel, same chart time, same chart channel. Y'all be good, man. I'm out. Sky's the limit. See y'all next time. Peace.